Blackwell,
Present.
Campbell,
Present.
Collins is absent, Dockery,
Present.
Yossi is absent.
All right, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Dockery to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays?
Your Honor, can I say one thing?
Yes.
Chief, thanks for returning our flag.
Yes, you're welcome. I thought about it the day after. I'm like, oh man, I forgot to bring that flag back. So.
We got to use our imagination. On number 4, public comment. Is there anybody in the public that would like to address the council for anything that is or isn't on the agenda this evening? Because now is your time. Okay. Number 5. Consideration to approve the city council minutes from the February 3rd regular council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Dockery to approve the regular city council minutes of February 3rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 5B, consideration to approve the committee of whole minutes from the February 3rd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Dockery to approve the minutes from the committee of whole minutes meeting for February 3rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 5C, consideration to approve the bills payable. Does anybody have any questions this evening?
I have none.
Amazing.
Mine were answered before the meeting.
Okay. All right. With that being said, can I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by Blackwell, second by Campbell, to approve the bills payable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 5B, consideration to approve a liquor license renewal for Rolling Meadows. Chief, I see you're here and signed off. Everything looks good?
Everything's good. No issues.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Dockery to approve the liquor license renewal for Rolling Meadows. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 5E, consideration to reappoint Jill DeWolf to the Park Board for a new 5-year term that expires on February 28, 2030. I called and talked to Jill, and she would be honored to do this for another term. So I'm asking you guys to reappoint her.
She's done great work.
She has an awesome work. She's very dedicated. She brings a great perspective on a lot of things, and so I would make that motion.
Okay. I'll second it.
Motion by Campbell, second by Blackwell to reappoint Jill DeWolf to the Park Board for a 5-year term. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 5F, consideration to appoint Marcy Ordez to the Community Center Board for a term that expires on 6/1/25 of this year. That'd be to fill a vacancy. I talked to her, and she's been wanting to get on a board for the city for a while now, and she comes recommended for that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dockery, second by Campbell to appoint Marcy Ordez to the Community Center for a term that expires on 6/1/25. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 6A, consideration of resolution 2025-5 approving the designation of the SLRF funds. The Vatican calling you for that?
Thank you, Mayor. This is just a formality for our ARPA funding that we received. This resolution could have been passed when we received the funds with the intent to spend them. Ours is just a little bit different. We've already received all of those funds, so the resolution states the amounts that we've got and when we got those. And then goes further to say that we have met our obligation to allocate all of those funds by our deadline of December 31st, 2024. And in accordance with the final rules, we will have all of those monies spent by December 31st, 2026.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-05 as presented.
Second.
Motion by Dockery, second by Campbell to approve resolution 2025-5 as presented. Roll call.
Yossi is absent, Collins is absent, Blackwell.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have to read for quorum. so-
Okay.
Yep, motion carries, we got
All
it
right.
for quorum.
Thank you, Letty.
Mhm.
6B, discussion and consideration of the cost-sharing proposal from the community center facade repair. That I can call on you again for that.
Oh, okay.
Let's back up. Scott and I should have voted on that motion for that resolution, not just Adrian. He doesn't get to carry the bucket all the time.
Okay,
There you go.
Dockery,
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Now you got 3.
Now it's legal.
No, it's,
Right.
yeah, thank you.
For the community center facade repair, there were 2 estimates that were received, one from Henningsen Construction and one from Toohey Construction. Henningsen quoted at $4,367. Toohey was at $4,675. There used to be kind of a standing agreement in place that the city would handle the outside repairs at the community center and the parking lot, those types of repairs, and the community center would handle all interior. We couldn't find anything documented in writing as to what is defined for each repair. So if that is an agreement that we want to continue going forward, it would be a good idea to put something in writing to kind of define what level of repairs. But for this purpose, the community center just wanted to have these estimates brought forward to the council to consider cost sharing. There isn't an ask on how much cost sharing, just whether or not the council would consider paying a portion of that cost.
In the past, there isn't any written agreement. If they had major capital improvements, like when the roof leaked, we covered it, or we need air conditioning units. But I would make a motion for the council to grant the community center board and us, the council, pay 50% of the repair.
Second.
Mayor, may I address the council?
Sure.
Okay,
You might want to, I don't think I turned that on, Marty, if you want to flip that toward you.
gotcha. Hello?
Yep, there you
All right, thanks. Thanks, Mayor. There probably isn't anything established by action, but what we have done before, the last time we upgraded this thing was about $600,000. We got a discussion about how much the community center itself ought to be paying for it or not. And we come to realize what we really is the city owns the physical structure itself. And it should be obligated to pay for any repairs for that itself, because trying to get the community center's revenues to help pay for, offset some of this costs here is not gonna be very beneficial to them at all. Their income stream should be able to take care of all the things they're doing here operationally. And we have the responsibility as a city to maintain the structure itself. It's one of our physical assets. And I would suggest that the city cover all the costs of this thing and leave the community center alone when it comes to the cost.
Got a motion and a second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor to do a cost share of 50%, say, well, did you state which one?
No, I didn't state which
If
one.
you read, the lower bid actually sounds like a better one because they're using the metal and the proper trim, and they're going to spray foam, where the other bid does not mention any insulation or anything like that. Go ahead.
I would make it up to the community center board on which one they choose,
Okay,
with us doing a cost share of 50%, and if they have problems coming up with their 50% of, so if they have problems coming up with their $2,200, to let us know.
Good. I was gonna suggest that, so thanks for amending that.
all right.
Do you second that then?
Yep, we're good.
With that being said and amended, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 6C, consideration to approve the Grow Quad City Service Levy Agreement for a term of 1 year commencing on July 1st, 2025 through July 1st, 2026. Nevada?
Thank you, Mayor. Back in August of 2024, the City Council discussed a couple of these current agreements or contributions that we're making with our regional partners, the Quad City Chamber being one of them. The original term for renewal was a 5-year term, and after discussion, the City Council agreed that they weren't interested in signing on for another 5-year, but were generally supportive of doing a 1-year extension if that was an option that the Quad City Chamber would consider. They did amend that agreement to be a 1-year term with an option to renew for an additional year. The other cities that are in that agreement have started going in front of their councils for approval to sign that agreement. For fiscal year 26, it would be $11,311 for that services agreement for them to help us with our larger scale economic development projects, national site selector, RFQs that come in. That's, I think, probably what our main partnership is with them at this level, is that economic development piece on the larger scale.
Then a question for Nevada and Jeff, how important is this tool to have in your toolbox, Jeff?
I would support it at this level. Some of the other price increases that caught your attention on the later terms, I think we'd have to look at the time. I do have a lot of interaction with them. But within the last 6 months, I'd say I almost talked to somebody there weekly. I did have some one-on-one time with some site selectors that they had hired for the region. That was very beneficial for me, coming into this and helping to market our sites. Without a dedicated person on staff to do some of this, I'd say at this level, that's money well spent. And I would recommend that we continue it for the year at this.
I make a motion to continue this for 1 year at the cost of $11,311.
It appears that they have been more proactive with us from a city standpoint than planning, so I will second that.
I have a question. So we're going from $7,500 to $11,311?
No, that's a different partnership or contribution. That's going to be item 6D. We're looking at the Grow Quad City service level agreement. I believe it was about $10,500 in fiscal year 25.
That's the number I had in mind also. So.
Yep, and this year being at 11,600, I believe.
311 it says.
Scott, you're gonna kill me. Can we just make it $11,300? Nice even round number. It looks great in budgeting, plus the only thing we pay per capita is the library. Now, we do receive motor fuel tax per capita, but I'm just not used to somebody invoicing us per capita other than library.
I'm okay with 11,300.
We won't pay the 311?
That's my motion.
So we will not pay them the $3.11.
Or the,
$11.17.
17 cents.
Okay.
So you
I
want to
mean,
pay $11?
if that's the
You don't want to give me
invoice,
$11?
I mean,
You don't want to pay me $11?
It's a fundamental of being charged per capita. That's a bad practice to get started.
My motion is the 311, just to move on. I understand where you're coming from, Brian, but
So you have it for the full amount?
11,311.
Councilman?
Yep.
So, second that.
Okay, motion by Campbell, second by Blackwell.
And now you need all three of us.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Scott, you owe the taxpayers $11.17.
Yes. Get your wallet out. Okay. Get your wallet out, Scott.
As you so eloquently said earlier, I'm the 65 crowd, I'm on a fixed income, maybe you can handle that for us.
I'm not too far behind you.
Letter 6D, consideration to approve the fiscal year 25 Rock Island Arsenal Defense Alliance contribution in the amount of $7,500. Nevada?
Thank you, Mayor. This is another topic that was discussed in August 2024 at one of the meetings. The City Council discussed the contribution that we give each year to the Rock Island Arsenal Defense Alliance. It has been at $5,000. We did budget it in the fiscal year 25 budget for $5,000. The council agreed to not continue with those contributions after the current fiscal year when it was raised to $7,500. When we got our invoice for this current fiscal year, it came in at $7,500. It's possible that they're on a fiscal year at the Arsenal of January to December. But regardless, because we budgeted in at $5,000 and that's what we had the approval from council for fiscal year 25, I wanted to bring the fiscal year 25 contribution invoice forward to get approval on whether we would pay $5,000 or $7,500 for the last fiscal year as approved by council.
And I don't remember, did we set a amount last time when we agreed to that amount?
The council agreed not to continue forward with the contributions after the current fiscal year, which was understood to be at the $5,000 that it had been for previous years. The proposed fiscal year 26 contribution was for the $7,500. Our fiscal year 25, we had it budgeted in at $5,000, so that's what went through the budget for approval. So there's that $2,500 difference from what we budgeted to what came in on the invoice for fiscal year 25. So I just want to look to council for direction on what to pay for that.
It sounds strange, but I'd like to table this till we have a full council. Seeing how 1 year ago the council elected not to continue this. If there's a change in the council, I think all members should have input in that.
So they all elected to stop after the current fiscal year. And so they did still approve in August for the fiscal year that we're in right now for our contribution, which would be this invoice. The only difference is that the invoice for this fiscal year was $2,500 more than what we budgeted and expected it to be, but they did agree to pay the contribution for this fiscal year.
Okay, I thought it was for 25, 26.
I don't recall all of the discussions as to why we're ending it. I know there was discussion there to show that we're uniform with other municipalities within the Quad Cities and like showing support for the Arsenal and don't know the percentage of Arsenal employees or active duty that we have living here. I know that there's a few here. It just shows a little solidarity. So I would hope that we can maybe possibly revisit this, or as Councilman Dockery said, table it. I would like to hear more as to why we weren't continuing that. I know that some thought there wasn't enough bang for the buck, and have questioned them before. Also like questioning the chamber, the QC, and questioning Bi-State before, but I just want to ensure that we're doing the right thing and that we're not hurting ourselves for possible growth.
Well, for the record, I misunderstood Nevada. So if I understand you correctly, we agreed to pay $5,000 last year, well,
For this current fiscal
for
year.
this current fiscal year, and that would be the last one, and they invoiced us $7,500 instead of the $5,000 the council agreed to.
Correct.
So there's a $2,500 difference.
And we're not gonna continue it, and this is one of those things that in the future, if the legislature gets their way, we cannot take GRF funds and pay it. We have in our budget $5,000, what council agreed, I'd make a motion to pay the $5,000 and see what they do.
I'll second that.
Motion by Doctor, second by Campbell to spend the $5,000 that was previously approved by the council. All those in favor of paying $5,000, say aye.
Aye.
Nays?
Yes.
Ayes have it. 7A, open public hearing for the consideration to approve the plan specifications, form a contract, and the estimated total cost of the South First Street Cold in Place Improvement Project bid.
Do you want to do a roll call?
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second?
Motion by Dockery, second by Campbell. Roll call.
Dockery?
Aye.
Collins is absent. Campbell?
Aye.
Lucy is absent. Blackwell?
Aye.
Ayes have the motion.
All right, we're now in public hearing
Mayor.
at 7:24. Yeah, go ahead and go to the microphone. State your name and address, please.
Craig Garrell, 146 Muse Circle. Just some questions on the South First Street project. We live in Muse Circle there, and we have 37 residents. Just wondering what the plan is for traffic control coming in and out of that when the street gets worked on. So kind of residents are asking. I got my HOA board here with me, so part of them, so just trying to get some input on what the residents can expect for that. Is one question.
Okay.
And then second, when they put the bike path in on Torrey Pines there, the culverts there, they put nice rock on the one end of it, on the side, in the ditch. And when they did our streets, they just put the big rock that was kind of scattered in the ditch there. It doesn't look very good for the city, and kind of a mess down there. So I know part of the project, they could take those out and put the nice looking gravel, the smaller gravel around the culverts instead, and take the big rocks out of the ditch because they're just kind of an eyesore and weeds grow around them. So if you need ideas how to make extra money, I can offer those too. And then the other part, I know the safety study, they kind of alluded to part of the problem with speeding on that road is that it kind of looks like a county road yet. So I don't know, be just a thought to wait a year or two or a couple and make it, finish it out like they did from 8th Street out to Buttermilk with the curb and gutter, and that would make it look like more of a road instead of the county road. Just a thought. So I don't know what the cost difference is on that. It's just an idea I had. So my thoughts on the project. Thank you.
Zach, can you?
I can
Go
talk
ahead.
to the traffic access. So, there will be one lane of traffic that will be open all throughout construction. So they'll work on one lane at a time while they're doing it. So they'll have flaggers out there during construction to kind of direct traffic throughout. So, there might, like when they're directly working in front of your entrance, you might have to go around to the other street just in the meantime, but throughout construction, there'll be one lane of access that should be open during construction, so it won't be completely shut down or anything. So.
And Zach, maybe you can explain the difference of the culvert for the bike path Torrey Pines versus behind their house. Is the difference in the volume and velocity? of
Yeah,
water?
I'm guessing the need for the bigger rock for the culvert by your house is likely due to the amount of flow that's coming out of there. So the bigger rocks just basically keep them from washing away. That's why it's bigger rock compared to the ones at the bike culvert is just for the ditch, where I believe at your house it's coming from the detention area that's coming out of there, so that's why I believe they're bigger rocks.
Into the creek that runs through there, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they could dress it up a little bit and then cover the big rocks with some smaller rock, just to, how we've had in the neighborhood for a while, just to, why they're in there, 'cause I don't know how much you're gonna tear it up currently when you're doing the road, so, yeah.
The road project shouldn't get into the ditches at all. We're really just staying on the road. And then I guess the last question to your comment about just the speeding and whatnot. So as part of the First Street project, they're gonna pave the shoulders. It won't be a curb like you mentioned, but it will all be paved then. So the gravel shoulders will be gone. So you won't see those anymore. But
Okay, I was just wondering if they were long-term with the
Yep.
curb and gutter all the way down to Lincoln or not, yeah.
Thank you, Zach.
yeah, thank you.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Motion by Dockery, second by Campbell to close public hearing. Roll call.
There was no other. Okay. Sorry, Mayor.
Collins is absent. Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
Dockery,
Aye.
Rose has got it. Motion carries.
Okay. Closed at 7:28. 7C, consideration of resolution 2025-6 awarding a contract for the South First Street Colden Plates Improvement Project to Manats Incorporated in the amount of $1,092,424.80. Does anybody have any questions on that?
I will say, and Zach will probably agree, those are some tough numbers that were bid.
Yeah.
Extremely competitive.
Yeah, they were good, very good pricing.
And it came under
Budget.
estimate. Yeah, that's even better.
It's never good when our engineers are a little bitter.
That's true, yeah, I'll be in the middle.
Do I hear a motion to approve the bid to Manats?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Blackwell, second by Dockery to approve the awarded contract for South First Street to Manats, an amount of $1,092,424.80. Roll call.
Campbell,
Aye.
Collins is absent. Dockery,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
Rose is absent. The motion carries with
All right. Thank you, Letty.
Roundabout down there and
7D, consideration of first reading of ordinance 2025-7, updating the city sanitary sewer rates. If you read through some of that, the short version is there's a 0% increase. Does anybody have any questions on that?
If we're not updating, this is really just kind of repaving, redoing.
Do we
all
have
First Street.
to pass it on?
Just because it was for the term of 1 year for the effective date, so we need to carry that out.
Do you hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Dockery, second by Campbell to approve updating the city sanitary sewer rates. Roll call.
Blackwell,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Dockery,
Aye. And Aaron, please note there's no increase.
Collins and Oshie are absent. And the motion carries with
All right, thank you. 7E, consideration of first reading of ordinance 2025-6, updating Franklin Park's name to Sanctuary Gardens as city besides the budget. We've been going through some other files and things. Jeff, can I call on you for this?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just while researching the next ordinance on the agenda, I came across this in our public order section, that the name was still referred to in city code as Franklin Park and not the updated name of Sanctuary Gardens. I know they're in the process of getting some new signage and stuff for out there, so I thought now would be a great time to push that forward. We don't want to run into any trouble with future enforcement issues because of a name difference.
Thank you, Jeff. Did you hear a motion to update the name from
So
Franklin?
moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Blackwell to approve the ordinance 2025-6 first reading to update Franklin Park to Sanctuary Gardens. Roll call.
Collins is absent. Dockery,
Aye.
Yossi is absent. Blackwell,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
ayes have it. Motion carries.
First reading passes.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Nevada, if we don't get any comments on this by the next meeting, can we consider approving it, waiving the third and final reading so we can?
Sure. Yep.
Thank you, Brian. 7F, consideration of the first reading of ordinance 2025-5, setting seasonal operation dates for the city bike path. Jeff, can I call on you for this? Or Zach?
No,
Okay.
thank you, Mayor. Yeah, well, I was discussing this one with our Public Works Director. Just bear with me for a second here. Since I was on vacation next week, I'm thinking we might have something awry here.
I believe this is just to mark the newer trails to match the one that goes along the road. This currently has dates on it.
Yeah, we had a couple of ordinances here about this though. And then the next one is the ordinance, is that correct? Or the resolution about this issue?
So we've got the
Resolution.
seasonal operation dates from December 1st to
Okay.
March 15th.
All right, I believe there's another part to this, sorry, that we should have here, I believe.
Are you referring to the maintenance of it? The snow plowing of it? Sure.
Yeah, so this is only one part. So I went back and revised this. Let's table this for a week.
Okay.
There's more to this that I went back and added, and the older version is the one that ended up in the packet this week. So if we could just table this for a week, we'll get this all sorted for next week.
Make a motion to table.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Second to Campbell to table this for the next meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays, the ayes have it.
Your Honor, can I make a comment?
Yes.
You made the comment about the dates on the signs on the north edge of town. That was a requirement put on by Scott County. That portion of the trail be closed in the wintertime. So if there's anything different than that, we'd probably need to reach out to the county to see if their stance has changed or not.
The dates will remain the same. And on that portion, that trail will be the same.
But the county, when they supported that bike path between Eldridge and Long Grove, that was part of the thing that would be closed. I think one of the issues was up by the Volvier resident. The bike path comes so close to the road, and when the plows go through, they bury the bike path. So I didn't think they wanted the responsibility of trying to keep that open. So that's why that sign was put by the pickleball courts.
Yeah, and what we're doing won't affect that at all.
Okay. Table. The 7G.
We will have more opportunity for discussion in next council meeting
Yeah, because we'll just,
regarding,
yeah, basically there's a portion in there, we're changing it from, the city code refers to those as bicycle paths. We're changing the code reference to just call them shared use paths from now on. So, because that's what we're calling them. And so that change is made in there. And we also are updating the verbiage on, on the dates and making that consistent across the board as far as closing the trails. Because the new trail, the Torrey Pines Trail, will also be closed during those dates.
is this something is this something that the county or for funding that we have to, or this is just a proposal?
No, because we're proposing adding large planters in the middle of the trails and they won't be able to plow them anymore. Because people are driving on them.
Okay, well, we can discuss further. I think it's a huge disservice for the community if we close those. We haven't had snow until the 12th. People utilize them all the time. You got people with snowshoes, with flat tire bikes and skis who use them.
Yeah.
For us to say you can't use that and limit people from being active in the winter months,
Again,
I think that's a huge disservice, guys.
Sure. The wrong wording, the wrong ordinance is included in the packet. It'll make more sense when you get the right ordinance. The ordinance will actually say shared use paths are closed from December 1st through March 15th, or when accumulation of snow, ice, or water exists on the surface of the trail.
Yeah.
So the Public Works Director basically has the, I mean, they'll maintain them for as long as they can, as they currently are doing.
But from December
This is a
through
whole-
March,
This is,
nothing's
a-
gonna be done to them. So,
Well-
and if somebody is caught on there, is there any legality to that, or is it
this is,
use at your own risk?
which is what it says now, this is a liability issue for us. If we don't say that they're closed during that time and someone gets hurt, then according to insurance people and lawyers, we're opening ourselves up to liability, and so we need to post the signs to say that. What people do after we post the signs, I guess, is up to them.
So basically, use at your own risk, if I am understanding correctly,
I
correct?
am not saying that. If you would like to say that, you can say that. I am saying that we're posting signs that say they're closed December 1st through March 5th, because that's the recommendation of lawyers and our insurance people, and apparently Scott County. I'm not telling people to use those trails during that time, no.
And Andrew has no plans to have your option to arresting people.
Okay.
No, we're not gonna buy a quad runner for the police department.
Yeah.
We don't need one.
Okay, so that's tabled, you said? Okay.
Yeah. On to 7G, consideration of resolution 2025-4 approving final acceptance of public improvements for the Rock Island Oil Company project. Zach, can I call on you for that?
Yeah, so all the improvements were made according to plan. It's been signed off by us and by city staff, so we recommend that the city formally accepts it.
Thank you. Brian?
Zach, I thought originally, they had to put the sewer line in to the southern edge of their property and pave a portion of that street. That hasn't been done yet, has it?
I believe that was prior.
What's the question again?
The street out in front of Roco. Originally, when the site plan, there's a sewer line that runs down the east or west side of that street, that typically we require people to run the sewer line to their edge of their property. Now, there's a hump in there that there are some challenges, and also the pavement on that street, there was discussion whether they have to pay half West Street or the full West Street. And to my knowledge, that's not done.
The storm sewer's in, but you're right, the road hasn't been fully paved to the south.
Or the sewer line hasn't been extended all the way to their southern border.
Well, there were issues with the sewer line. Wasn't it that it was basically gonna bottom out, they wouldn't have it 4 feet. It
believe so.
couldn't maintain the distance at the proper depth. So we required them to go as far as they could and maintain the required code depth, and at that point is when the sewer line stopped. Because they couldn't continue it any further.
Do we have any provision in the future if someone would go south of there and put a lift station or force main up to that point in the sewer? At some point in time, we've got to get the sewer to the south edge of their property.
Yeah, and at some point then, whoever develops to the south is gonna have to put in a lift station.
But it still should be Wilco's responsibility for that to the edge of their property.
And and we've got a waiver for that. This was all, I'm pretty sure, I can take a look in the folder if you'd like, if you want to wait for a second.
Is that part of the waiver with the street?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we got a waiver for what you're asking for at that point. And that was all approved by the council.
Just make sure we do and how
Okay.
that's written, because as we all know, the waivers on the sidewalks on South First Street have come back to bite us in the rear.
Right, yeah. No, I can double check on that. But
So should we table this until next meeting, till we get that information clear?
well, I mean, I can find it for you momentarily if you would like to wait, but I'm pretty sure it went in front of the council. I just wasn't expecting the question, so I didn't look it up ahead of time. Yes, we do have a assessment waiver for the sewer and storm sewer and the public street.
Just till the end of 26, right?
Well, that was what was
Come back
what
and,
was said at the council meeting, yep, so. But yeah, no, we do have a assessment waiver for that.
Does that have a sunset date on
No.
it? Okay. So if it has to go in and they're not willing to do it, we can do it and then assess their property for it.
Yep.
Or future owners of.
Yep.
And we did get that recorded at the courthouse.
I've got the recorded version
Okay.
on file, yep.
It's not for me.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-04 is presented.
Second.
Motion by Dockery, second by Campbell, to approve resolution 2025-4 as presented. Roll call?
Lucy is absent. Dockery?
Aye.
Collins is absent. Campbell?
Aye.
Blackwell?
All right.
Motion carries 9-0.
All right. On to number 8, board and staff activity reports, Nevada.
thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick things. We do have our security cameras and our secure entry locks all installed and getting those set up. Most of our facilities are using them. Got just a couple more settings to get through and they'll be fully functioning. And then just a question for the council on the wetlands delineation report. Do we want to have Flanker come and present on that? Or are you comfortable with going through the report and we can put it on an agenda in the future for discussion? You want to let me know next step on that?
Does she charge us more for presenting it?
I don't know. I didn't ask her. She said she would be willing to answer any questions. I didn't ask her if there was a charge to come and present, but I can find out.
If there's no charge, I'd never.
That's all I've got.
Okay.
One question, Nevada or Jeff. Obviously, we're going to continue using this facility for council meetings. Is there any way to get a touchpad key thing on here like we do at City Hall? Instead of that key box, trying to remember the number, get the key.
Yeah, part of the quote was to just have this door, the employee door, to have the fob or the card reader on it.
But what about for council members?
Yeah, you guys could get one.
Because I'm notorious for coming early.
Yeah, nope, and that's fine. We can set it up so that you would have access, yep. So the only thing left is part of my report then. If I can jump ahead, Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you.
Please, Jeff, go ahead.
I think the only thing that is left is switching these cameras over to the new system, installing that fob lock on that employee door, and I think there's 6 doors and 3 or 4 cameras at the park at Sheridan Meadows that need to go up yet, but due to weather, he's talking that since it's gonna warm up next week, they'll probably get the park cameras done then, but that's really all that's left. All the public works, water treatment, sewer, city hall, police department is all up and going.
And one of the most important things is giving the city clerk a key to this thermostat.
You're not telling me anything. I'm completely geared up.
It's comfortable.
She pays the bills anyway.
Thank you, Jeff. Is that all?
That's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Letty, do you have anything to say?
I don't. No.
Okay, thank you. Chief, do you have anything?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one thing, our current hiring process is open. So far, as of today's date, we have 5 certified officers that have applied, and we have between 10 and 15 non-certified that have applied. And then testing will be March 8th at North Sky High School, so we're looking forward to that. And that's all I got.
Thanks, Chief.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Motion by Docker, second by Blackwell to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Adjourned at 7:48. Thank you.
Everybody stay warm. We're supposed to go down to 11 or 12 below ambient temperature tonight. It's gonna get better.
Do we ever have any members use this as a warming station when it gets that low? Do we try